everybody, and welcome to another magazine flip through. Now, in this flip through, we're gonna be flipping through Ravage Magazine. Now, this is published by Simon Kulminianot, and this is from December 2012, and it covers December 2012, January 2013. Now, if you want to know how old this magazine is, it's not very old, but if you want to know how old it is, this was on top of the charts when this magazine came out.
Open Gangnam Style.
Right. So, what is in this magazine? We're gonna have a look at some of these games are pretty much. I want to say dead. Some people will say it's dormant, but for the moment, let's call them dead. And we've got Star Wars X-wing. We've got Infinity, Zombicide, Warhammer, Dust Tactics, and Dark Age. The Kukul Kani faction. Which is it's gonna be the Kukul Kani is actually gonna be the bigger part of this magazine. But let's have a look inside very quick. As you can see, the magazine's been flipped through quite a bit. I like gaming magazines, so I flipped through this quite a bit. Anyways, let's look inside, and we've got an advert from Battle Foam and a forward from the editor, and then we've got table of contents, and then we've got an advert for Rivet Wars. I'm not sure whether Rivet Wars is still a thing, but when it came out, it was I want to call it is it cyberpunk World War One trench stuff, just which is steampunk, which is was kind of cool. It was more like a board game, and this advert pretty much starts off the news section of the magazine. And would you believe it? The first bit of news is Dark Vengeance. For those of you who got into the game in sixth edition, this is nothing new to you. This is like a bit of history. For those of you who just started, this came out during sixth edition, so that was about 4 editions ago, about 10 something years ago. And as you can see, the coverage is pretty good. Um, lots of nice pictures and miniatures, which I always appreciate in any magazine. In fact, the design is not so bad as well when it comes to like playing the layout and everything like that. It's very cool and nice. Moving along, we've got Dust Tactics Operation Hades. Now Operation Hades actually this expansion introduces like I think superhumans. It's got like new cards in there. Dust Tactics had a blip in my shop just for a bit. We brought in the rule books. We brought in some of the sets. Folks were playing it for a while, and then I think somehow, oh, people stopped playing. We still have some of the rule books on the shelf, but this was a pretty good memory. Why? Because this game was pretty simple, and the miniatures and the fluff was pretty evocative too, as you can see over here. Very nicely envisioned. I won't say future, but retro future, I guess. When it comes to miniatures, stuff like the babushka, really nice looking, like jack looking stuff. Moving along, we got Malifaux, the Neverborn, and this is article on the Neverborn. Now, for those of you guys who are playing Malifaux at the moment, this is from the first run of miniatures, where they were all pretty much metal, still metal sculpts. The whole look of the Neverborn has changed quite a bit. So, if you were to find this, in the garage sale or in a secondhand bookstore, pick it up. If you did not know what the old figures used to look like, and you're a fan of Malifaux, check it out because it's a article on the Neverborn, which is it's always appreciated. I mean, fluff articles are always appreciated. I mean, look at YouTube. Lots of this fluff and lore videos are doing pretty well. Anyways, moving along, we got Dungeon Command. Now this one I was interested in when it came out, and it fell off my radar, and it fell off my radar proper, because only when I saw this article again did I realize, wow, Dungeon Command. Yes, it was a thing. I wanted to bring it in. I didn't bring it in. I don't think I played it. If you played it, let me know. Did you like Dungeon Command? Now, what it is basically it's a WotC, it's a Wizards of the Coast game. I put a little bit of stock in Wizards of the Coast when it comes to game design, so and this is why I was interested to get into it. But yeah, if you have played this one, send write in the comments what you thought. Good, not good. Next up, we begin the gaming section with an advert for Devastation. Nice bit of art there. And the gaming section starts off with Sedition Wars, the Mike McVie game. Now, this, of course, this one came out, I think, the early days of Kickstarter. I think I put a pledge for one, if I'm not mistaken. One of the few pledges I actually put on for any Kickstarter. Yeah, so Sedition Wars, and then you got the Kukulkani from Dark Age, the Simon, uh, brand. And what is kind of cool is because in the game, in this part of the magazine, you pretty much get the source book for free. It starts off with a little bit of a fluff story for you to get into the mood of the Kukulkani, and it's quite a bit of reading, and then you've got a bit of like history or the background of the Kukulkani, and which is cool because in order for you to um, invest in a game or invest in a range of miniatures, it's nice to know what they are. Moving along, you've got a list of the army abilities for the Kukulkani, and then the rituals that they do. And then what I thought was kind of interesting is they started like giving the stats and the fluff for the Kukulkani. I mean, in this magazine, which I thought was like really really cool when I got it. I think one of the reasons why I got it was because it was here, all of it. So you got the Quetzal, you got the War Priest, you got the War Captain, you got the Warriors, the devoted priests, the harvesters, the Balam, the honored dead, the living ancestor, the honor guard, the Chukka. You got the Kotlai. You got the Kabrakan. Oh, the Kabrakan, that looks huge. And then you got the campaign scenario for the Kukani. And I think this was kind of cool because I think at this point they were trying to release a new faction altogether and put it in their magazine. Was perhaps a really really good idea. It boosts the sale of the magazine, and not only do you get this, but you get all the other stuff that comes with it. So if you're into Dark Age, this magazine was a crucial purchase. Yeah, yeah, new abilities, new weapon abilities, and stuff like that. Just kind of cool. I think this is a really good idea. I mean, it's also the fact that they also give you the stat card for it is fantastic. You can actually play out of the book immediately. Just very very cool. And that's again good design. Next up, we got all the scenarios. Oh, advert for Dark Age. There you go. Next up, we got scenarios. Now, what I liked about Ravage Magazine was things like this. They introduced scenarios. Um, Now with the whole everybody playing tournament, playing made up scenarios or set scenarios are no longer such a big thing. But this is a thing I quite like. When someone makes a scenario, gives you a set of objectives for you to follow, and then you try to complete them. I like stuff like that. And magazines like this, supplement that. So first up, we got the Kings of War. It's called the exclusive scenario, a difficult hunt, which is kind of cool. And it's got a dragon in this scenario, which is great. I mean, it's not exactly tournament worthy, but there you go. Then you got Zombicide. I think when this game came out, this game was huge. I think this game made tabletop miniatures board games big. And with Zombicide, all the support for Zombicide, like these two scenarios, you got things like this, which actually make Zombicide such a great game to get. Not just for the miniatures, but the amount of things you can do with it. Simon were really on top of the game during this part of their existence with a very focused push. So yeah, you got Zombicide, and then you've got an article on Infinity, and this one is pretty much the Steel Phalanx of Alif, and this is basically a more like a fluff article for the Steel Phalanx. Nice miniatures, of course, but it sets you into playing the faction. I thought this was going to be a big thing, to be honest. The breaking down of factions and stuff like that. I was looking forward to issues of Ravage because of it. Yeah. Anyways, moving along, we got X-Wing, and this is an exclusive scenario for X-Wing. How many people play X-Wing anymore? Those who do play it in secret in dark rooms. Not really, but it is an exclusive scenario for X-Wing. So later, if you are playing X-Wing and you have an X-Wing set, and you find this in the secondhand bookstore, or you find this in somebody's garage sale, get it. No, it's an exclusive scenario right there. Next up, we've got the hobby section with Dust Tactics as the poster right there. And over here, we've got making terrain, right? Which is kind of cool. It's always nice for any miniature game magazine to actually have an article like this because terrain is just as important as the miniatures when it comes to tabletop gaming. And this one is cool because check this, they actually give you the template for what they built. So what you can do is you can actually scan this. You can actually transfer it onto card, whatever it is, whatever materials you use to make, and just like make it. This is great. This is a great plus. It's something they didn't need to do. I mean, they could have just like just told you, gave you tips, but put this in the magazine as well. It's a plus, super plus. So if anything, if you wondering whether it's worth getting the magazine, sure, why not this one? Just for not just for this, but it's good. It has this in the magazine, and they show you how to paint it and stuff like that. Next up, we have the Quirkworthy's Ramblings, New and Shiny, and it's basically talking about playing miniatures, and I don't know, it's an opinion piece to be honest, about how to not be to be a better player on the table, and how to approach things, which is kind of cool. It's a nice article. I mean, it's an advice article if anything. And then we've got uh let me see now, it's an advert for Ravage, and Super Nintendo Explorer. I'm not so sure whether Super Nintendo Explorer is still around. I don't think it is though. But this is when the Caverns of Roxor came out. Yeah, nice advert for that. I mean, a little bit of a throwback to be honest. And then finally, you have the Infinity as the back cover. So that's pretty much it. That is Ravage Magazine number 5, a magazine by Kumi Yonat. I'm gonna have to look through my storeroom. If I find more magazines like this, I will definitely feature them. Let me know if you like flip like this, and I'll do more. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to enjoy painting those figures.